Yeah, in many low-income countries, the share of collected waste is very low. Often it's below 50%. That means that the waste which is there is then thrown into rivers, buried in their own garden, or open burnt. And this rate of uncollected waste has to be reduced considerably, because if the waste is open burnt, you have a lot of pollution due to air pollution from the burning plastic and other waste. So the reason, or often the reason why waste is not collected, is that the waste management are not financed. We need to secure the financing of the running costs of waste management. That's one of the important reasons why EPR schemes had to be put into place.
To guarantee a well-working sorting procedure, it is important to fulfill different aspects in collecting. In general, it can be said that the more selective the collection, the better the quality of the recyclables. Of course, this has its limits, as it is not possible to collect all packaging and recyclable material flows individually. In principle, the sorting technology is capable of separating even highly mixed recyclables. It is important to collect glass separately from paper and to collect paper separately from glass and plastic.
If a country is to decide on how to collect, for example, empty packaging with an EPR system as a financing instrument, it is worth to discuss in which form it should be organized. It always depends on the national situation. Big country, small country, a lot of islands. Is infrastructure in the country? Do I have to export for the last and final step, the recycling? With the deposit system that focuses on only special categories like drink bottles or other single waste streams, I have better opportunities for the recycling, because my waste stream or secondary raw material stream is cleaner than a curbside collection, where we have usually a mix of different materials and where we have a much higher risk of contamination. So it is to decide on the national situation.
For the waste management, we can apply several systems. So one system is then the curbside collection, so that every household has the possibility to separate waste, but of course they have then to use different waste bin. Or on the other side, you can offer locations where the people can put their waste into. And I think it's dependent on the location. So if you have a crowded city where it's possible to place some kind of bins for a separate collection, so the people can bring their plastic waste or their paper waste to it, I think that this might work. But if you have more locations on the countryside, so that the people have to walk a long way to the recycle bin, I think it's not so good.
The chosen collection system can have an impact on quality of materials, but it's difficult to give general recommendations. The costs of drop-off systems or delivery systems are generally lower than those of household-related collection. This is partly due to the fact that smaller quantities are collected with delivery systems than with collection systems. However, the qualitative question is not uniform. For instance, bringing systems do not necessarily deliver the better qualities, despite of lower collection quantities. An example of this is the depot container collection for mixed packaging. As it was practiced after the system was introduced in some major German cities. Due to the high quality problems, for example, the anonymous disposal possibility for craftsmen, this collection variant has been discontinued everywhere in the meantime. The type of collection must always be examined in detail, always also again the socio-economic background, and harmonized as far as possible with the systems already installed. The range of possibilities extends from selective return distribution, for instance deposit systems for specific types of packaging, to collection of individual recyclables together with residual waste and subsequent sorting.
For contracting the services of the packaging waste collection, also for sorting and recycling, the responsible party should give preference to social business companies who are providing these services over profit maximizing seeking companies.
If you're talking about changes in waste management or behavior changes, you have also to implement the infrastructure that the people can change. If you are addressing separate waste collection, but if having not a separate waste collection place, this is not beneficial because the people cannot separate the waste. So it has to go hand in hand, the information of the population and the installation of infrastructure.